Hello and welcome back to this playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm going to go around Haven and talk to people. First, I'm not sure there's anything my advisors can be doing at the war table, but if there is, they need to be doing it.
My scouts are posted on the ridges in case there's any trouble.
Ooh, wait a minute. Look, we got new stuff over here. We did that. Well, Liliana's solution sounds pretty good. No. Let's go with Liliana.
Let's see what we have.
Hmm. I think we'll go again with Liliana for that. What do we got for here?
At your
Go that.
service.
All right, so I found something for her to do. Cullen, what can you do? The order's obligations. Well, Josephine sounds good for that one. So, I guess Cullen, just get me some money.
To work?
Alright, let's start talking to people. Let's talk to Josephine.
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who was she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's Templars. According to Lady Corpin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power, instead of comforting the masses.
The Chantry couldn't solve its own problems when it had a divine.
Yet many people continue to bear it great love. We will not benefit from its decline. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevarra, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
So if everyone listens to the chant, things will be smooth as silk?
I did say commonality is merely a beginning, but it's an important one. We must learn to think beyond our own wants, to secure peace in Thedas.
Let's hit her with a flirt bomb.
How did someone so lovely and selfless go into Orlesian politics, Lady Montelier?
Well, that is, really, you give me too much credit. While you're here, I do have a question. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
Will my answer change your reply to the Chantry?
If Leliana, Cassandra Cullen, and I could agree on our official stance, I could answer that. We should decide soon. The revered mothers don't seem to know what to make of you.
I have yet to create an Inquisitor, and I'm not sure how you could create an Inquisitor that thinks, oh yeah, I'm cool, I'm super cool. I guess you could. It'd be such a jerk. um,
I'd tell the Chantry I was saved by circumstance, not divine intervention.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply. A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you.
I think we have some things to turn in for research. Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, we're close to getting another perk.
It is good that you salvaged as many Templars as you did, my dear. We will need every Templar, but they will require proper management. We also need to increase our lyrium supplies considerably. The Chantry may still have stockpiles we can use.
Josephine's already working on that.
We likely need more than they have. Our enemies have magic that can rip open the Fade.
Indeed. We may need Josephine to open negotiations with the dwarves directly. The breach has done more than disfigure
She's already
the
doing
sky.
that.
The veil itself is broken. All mages, no matter how skilled, are now in danger of drawing demons to them. Before this crisis is over, you may find that Templars, flawed as they may be, are all that stand between us and chaos.
Well, I'd say, I guess we're going to have to go that way. Because, really, Mika here went with the Templars. She doesn't trust mages. She doesn't trust magic. She doesn't really like magic. And the Templars are magic fighters. And so that's kind of why she went with them. And she's agreed with Vivian all along. So, yeah, I think we're going to go right here. I mean, they are an arm of, or were an arm of the Chantry. And she didn't have much use for the Chantry, but anybody who can fight magic, she's kind of cool with. Let's go this way.
It's a good idea to plan for trouble.
I'm glad you understand. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
You're preaching to the choir, Vivian.
Tell me something. You said once that you wanted to change things. What future would you build for mages?
The circle has to be restored if we want to keep the peace.
That's comforting to hear, but you'll find opposition to the idea even among friends. It's something to consider, my dear.
All right, let's hit up Liliana. I think there was
Is
still...
the Carter pleased that the Inquisition chose to side with the Templars rather than the mages?
The Carter doesn't much care where the money comes from. We just want a profitable year, and a sky with no glowing green crap coming out of it.
The Templars will be an asset to this Inquisition. It's a shame we couldn't also get the mages on our side.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You have a history with the Warden who ended the Blight, don't you?
I count him among my closest friends. I still write to him for advice when I can. He hasn't replied to my letters in some time. I try not to worry about it. He can take care of himself.
They say you spent some time in Lothering. Did you know the champion?
We spoke a few times. I seldom left the Chantry, and we never became more than casual acquaintances. I saw more of the Hawk twins. Bethany in particular. She would spend time in meditation at the Chantry, and she seemed to like my stories. The other one, the young man, he was a little surly.
Yeah, just a little, huh?
You seem to know Josephine quite well.
I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the Blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Val Rayo, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... alright. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am.
So when did this stuff get here? And what is it?
So the Templars will put their powers to use, sealing the breach.
Yep.
Any group corrupted by a demon must be watched carefully. At least they know how to fight.
We can't afford to be picky about our allies.
Point taken. Just remember, an enemy can attack, but only an ally can betray you. Betrayal is always worse. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again with the Templars. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
So, only an ally can betray you. Is that a warning, Solus? Is that a warning? Are you warning us about yourself? You're going to betray us? Because I know you are.
Something like that. I spoke with Blackwall. He didn't have much to say about the Grey Wardens.
Why should he? Their deeds speak for themselves.
I'm beginning to think you only came to the Inquisition once you couldn't find them.
Welcome back. Minded joining the Wardens after my exile? True. But your Inquisition will do.
I'm pleased to hear it. Templars filling up the place.
Best of the polished helms come to save us.
Good partners, I suppose, if they decide to stay and do what they're told.
Seem to have a problem with that.
Whatever you think, they're the best hammer for this particular nail.
Well, watch your thumbs, because a Templar might slip, or... You want about anything else?
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Go on. I'm going. Do you have anything to say, Varric?
So, the Templars joined the Inquisition. Even with Cullen here, I never thought that would happen. Of course, after Kirkwall, I never thought anyone would use red lyrium on purpose either. The Templars should know better than anyone what that shit does to people. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
I'd like to keep hoping it's a coincidence, if you don't mind. I need to be able to sleep at night.
Honestly, I think I'll give up sleeping for the foreseeable future. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
We're going to Disney World.
That's a good point. We should celebrate. A banquet? Something like a banquet?
Word to Josephine, and I bet she could arrange anything. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
Let's go talk to the Seeker. Oh, there's that guy. Oh, I level up, don't I? Yes, I'm leveling up. What are we gonna do? What can we do? What should we do? Maybe get that? 6 seconds after leaving stealth. 50% armor penetration. That looks pretty nice. Wouldn't mind getting down to here. Don't really care much for these things. I guess they're okay. They're kind of a form of a glyph, but they don't do nearly the kind of damage that a glyph does. Well, that's kind of nice. Eh. I haven't really been using evade. But if I were, I'm not sure what that means. I don't know what that means. But that sounds pretty cool right there. But that I like. I want to get there. I suppose this might help. I think I'm going to go here. And now we're going to go endure Cull. Ugh. Oh, Cull. Oh, God. Ugh.
You took in the Templars. You let them stay in strength, even after what they did. Their own people. It's dangerous when too many men in the same armor think they're right. You should prepare. It's already getting louder.
We're going to have these talks less often, Cole.
Maybe. Not everything happens. But first, you seal it. I hope it hurts less. I'll help if I can, but I don't always say it right.
You never say it right.
If you could act like a normal person, that would probably help.
Yes. Probably.
I'd like to talk with you about Templars.
They're heavy with forgotten songs, like Varric. Some of them are too loud. It's hard to stay near them. Cullen is softer, but demons asked questions that hurt him. Evangeline was kinder. I want to explain, but Reese's mother spoke to spirits, but not to him. Then she died for a Templar he loved. Words just bounce off the edges.
Forget it.
I'll talk to you later.
How do you know?
I'm not sure I will. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. I'm tired. It's just bullshit, you know? I mean, his dialogue is just utter bullshit. It's like, why waste my time? Why didn't they just, you know, say it all in Russian or, I don't know, some language nobody knows. Urdu or who knows what. I mean, God. As you can tell, perhaps, Cull is not going to last long. On the advice of Vivian, we're going to get rid of Cull when we get to Skyhull. It's like, pfft, goodbye, get lost, you demon. I mean, I do not like Cull. He doesn't add anything because you can't understand anything he says. They intentionally wrote him so you don't understand, and it's fine, so why talk to him, right? I hope they never have another character like Cull ever again. It's just terrible.
Demons. It had to be demons.
It's always demons, you know that, Paul.
Messing around.
For all you know, the demon never stopped. This is all in your mind.
Oh, now I'm gonna spend the rest of the day thinking about it. Thanks. Anyway, with the Templars on board, hopefully we can close that breach. Damn thing gives me a headache just looking at it.
Let's see what Blackwall has to say before I forget him. I tend to forget Blackwall. And it's not because he's got the problems that Cull does. He certainly doesn't. You can understand him, but he's kind of boring.
Of all the things in the world, a demon who wears someone's face.
I imagine it makes trusting others risky.
Risk is what keeps life exciting, don't you think?
Until you lose. It's easy to speak well of trust when yours has never been misplaced.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I expected more. More men, better equipment. You may have Andraste's favor, but wars are won by men, soldiers.
Brute force is not always the answer. There are plenty of other paths to victory.
True enough. Still, it never hurts to be prepared. One thing I will say about your men, they're passionate, devoted. You inspire them. Build on that foundation, and you will have an army that makes nations tremble.
What do you think of Haven?
It's a war camp that was once a pilgrim's refuge. It's the state of the world, though, isn't it? Holy ground turned into a battlefield. Pity about that temple. Would have been nice to see it.
What do you think of the Inquisition's cause?
Restoring order is a goal I support wholeheartedly. But that's not the end of it, is it? Not by a half. The Lady Seeker believes we are restoring the Chantry. Others say it needs reform. I don't know where you stand on the matter, and I'll admit I haven't made up my mind either.
What do you think about all this trouble between the mages and Templars?
Looking at it from where we stand, it seems inevitable. But that could be hindsight. How many of us actually saw it coming? Either way, I don't think the Chantry will ever recover.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Cole's dangerous, unpredictable. We aren't even sure what he is. Don't know what he might do. I wouldn't turn my back on him.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
So, we got another down vote on Cole. Cole, you're going to get voted off the island here.
Something must be done, immediately.
Nothing will be done.
Commander Cullen said the same thing. It's an outrage. There are mages here we know are guilty of heinous crimes. You would let that pass?
Yes, as will you. We are not here to coddle the Order. You are an ally. Act like one.
How are we supposed to?
Deal with it. It never ends, evidently.
You don't need to tell me that.
I just don't know who told them I'm the one to yell at.
Is it that bad?
The Templars need to learn they have other uses than hunting mages. It's not easy for them. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
I had to think on my feet, and I did what I could.
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
You're flattering me.
I'm not. This always happens. Nobody ever takes my meaning.
You should see your face.
I'm thinking less flattering things now. Let's hope the breach has your sense of humor.
I think it does. I'm pretty sure. We'll tell it some jokes, and then everything will be fine. Hello.
Cole, or whatever he calls himself, may have helped at Therenfall, but that doesn't mean we should trust him.
Liliana has people watching him.
Provided they don't lose him. I suppose my concerns can wait. You must focus on the breach. The Templars are making final preparations. After what happened with the Lord Seeker, they're eager to prove themselves.
After what I went through to get them, they'd better be.
What happened at Theronfall was appalling. To have a demon manipulate your mind. It takes a strong person to walk away from that. It's good to see you well.
Didn't I ask about all of this stuff? Colleagues.
I should get to know you better. We're working together, after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
Well, I guess I didn't ask it before.
I grew up in Ferelden, near Homley. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
Few who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order, but Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently, I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
I'll let you return to your work.
Another time, then.
Another time. All right. I think that's enough for this episode. We talked to everybody. In the next episode, we will actually use these Templars we got to close the breach there. So, until then, have a nice day.